talk about the business case for DDI and the business case of creating gender equity, I'd need to go back to the purpose of DDI, or Data Drives Insight. The purpose of why we created DDI was born from working with people who are at work who weren't experiencing a safe workplace, who were therefore suffering all kinds of trauma, and that trauma was being transferred into all aspects of their life, and that was creating loads of problems for people. So the business case for us is, if we can identify the environment of which people work within their teams and how healthy it is, then whatever that health is, whether it's low or high, we can actually point the team towards areas that they can focus on to improve their health of their teamwork and the level of safety that they feel in their team. And what that will do is, or what we know that does, is creates, yes, higher productivity, higher performance in all aspects, including quality of the services or the products that they produce and things. From a human perspective, it touches on, or it really is at the heart of our purpose, which is to create a world of thriving organisations, and that extends through not just workplaces, but because we spend 2/3 of our waking life at work, that flows on, that experience flows on into all of our personal relationships as well. So the business case is kind of a little hard to put your finger on, because it's, from our perspective, it's more of a, how do we create insights to help our entire community? Issues in our society and mental health and stress and anxiety and depression, there are significant links to our entire social issues and the health of our society. So that's a really important part of our business case, and part of our aspiration is to use the insights that we generate to influence public policy and public health and all that kind of stuff. I think the first step was to derive some technology that could actually help us to empirically measure the current level of gender equity. And by accurately getting a picture of what the current gender equity was, then we went to delve into, well, what was causing that? And once we then created some awareness around that, it helped us to look at, well, so therefore, what can we do about it? It's an interesting question, because there's both internal things that we do, and then there's external things that we do. So things that we do, the larger footprint that we're committed to creating is shifting the goal, or shifting the needle on gender equity across the world. Some practical examples from our own workplace. One of the ones that I can think of is there was a woman who approached our organisation and was really excited about working with us, and we hadn't met with her before, but met and got to know her a little bit. And she was saying that she was 16 weeks pregnant, and so while she was excited, she wanted to start after her mat leave. And I asked her, why is that? Is there any reason you didn't want to start before that? And she went, I wouldn't think that you'd want to have someone start for a few weeks and then go on mat leave. I went, well, that's not how I see it. I see it as a great opportunity, but really it's up to you. And interestingly, she thought about that and then joined within no time, and then worked and really immersed herself in our organisation and what we stand for and our values and those sorts of things. And then went on mat leave, but was already felt like she was part of the team. She only lives in that grey house over there, about 200 metres away. So, so she, that was her first baby, so she'd, bring Bub in, and then she's worked with us for her second baby. Anyway, I guess the point is the conversation of just stretching our minds from what people normally think is the case, to just open up possibilities and things like that. Some other things that we do is consciously having the conversation with everyone that we talk with, including internally. So internally we challenge each other frequently around the distinction between equality and equity, and we play around with how to display that visually, and how to distinguish between things like gender equity, and then what are the causes or the contributors to that, and then how do you measure that so that you can actually monitor that we're making a difference and things like that. So there's some of the key things. That what we get really excited about, Ash, is the insights that the team produce, and then how do we share those with other people. Our greatest challenge at Data Drives is we're such a small team. We have found over a number of years, the team's discovered some incredible insights, but we really lack the one, know-how, and two, the people power to actually get those insights out to other organisations who could actually benefit from that. So that's what we're sort of tackling at the moment. Greatest challenge is lack of resources, and also lack of skills and expertise on how to communicate the insights to other organisations. And I think one of the most powerful critiques of Data Drives came from an employee who's amazing. And she said she absolutely sees our passion and our commitment, and cut us in half, and we live and breathe what we the areas we work in. Because the challenge is that we were approaching Data Drives as in the insight part. It's the insight sharing part, like a hobby in the back shed on weekends. And when she said that, I'm like, that really hurts. She's right. She was absolutely right. So the challenge for us has been, we're all coaches, and like this morning, I spend my time one-on-one with a person or a group, helping them understand how to create high-performing teams and what it means to create gender equity and inclusivity and stuff like that. So we're often, on the tools, if you like, doing that work. We're not communicating the work to other people, and that's an area, one, that we don't currently have skills in, and two, that we haven't had resources to actually do that. What's changed for DDI is our connection to the frame, if you like, or concept of gender equity was perhaps, like an ember that was a light, but it was, we're more experiencing gender equity as an outcome. What's happened over the last year is we've become, partly through our insights, that ember's become a bushfire, and we realise that gender equity is right at the heart of what creates a connected group of people into a team where they deeply value each other, and they provide a safe enough environment that brings out the absolute best of each other, where they can challenge each other, but do that in a kind way. And so it's become core and central to everything that we do, which essentially is about, like I said, helping to create a thriving a world of thriving organisations. Noticing my defensiveness and to being stigmatised or thrown into a bucket of because of my gender, therefore I must have certain beliefs or be blind to certain impacts on other people. And as a father of two beautiful young women now, I've been incredibly conscious of the impacts of society in general on, in a limiting way, on their ability to achieve their full potential. And so for me, that's challenged me even more, because it's like, kind of a bit of denial, I suppose, Ash, that I'm not like that and, society's not all like that. Well, actually, there is a hell of a long way to go still. And so, as a optimist, I think the negative side of that coin is denial and ignorance. And so having people around me like Abby and the girls to really help me see that and encouraging me to stay open to that has been really, really important, because I feel like I'm learning more and more and more about the limitations that people experience that I would have otherwise probably dismissed without knowing that, without just being ignorant of it. Yeah, I'm a massive believer that every CEO should join CGE, whether they're already a long way down the journey or whether they're right at the start. We need all, the whole point of diversity and inclusivity is we need all different perspectives to be at the table so that we can actually all learn from each other. So that's the key part. And I was thinking about this actually on the way here, so I know I'm about to ramble, but a prominent female CEO that I've been strongly encouraging to join CGE, and most likely will soon. She's not alone, so it's a bit of a theme here. I often find that female CEOs can have a more view that's less progressive than I would have imagined, and so they're like, I don't know whether this is accurate, and I haven't exactly said it in these words, Ash, but it's like, well, I got there, so, and it was bloody hard, so why should I make it easier for other people? And I'm just like, I need you at the table because we need to have that conversation, so that if that conversation exists, even if it's invisible and it's hidden behind closed doors and in people's minds and stuff, we need to make that conversation visible so that we can deal with it. So yeah, my view is we don't want to exclude any views, right? We want all views to be to feel safe to be shared, so that we can actually have the conversations together and collectively sort of move our way forward.